excuse the interruption. Just
Okay.
to let the bowling people know, bus 10 will be the bus that will take you to bowling practice.
These are the notes for 5.0, the Chapter 5 opener. So it's about working with exponents and products. So we've got some rules here. These are the properties of exponents. Hopefully you remember these from before. The product rule. When you're multiplying two numbers with the same base, you add the exponents together. When you're dividing two numbers with the same base, you subtract the exponents. The power rule. If you raise a power to a power, so if you have something with an exponent on it and you raise it to another power, you multiply the two exponents. If an exponent is negative, it means take the reciprocal. So n to the negative x is the reciprocal of that, so it's 1 over n to the x. Power over product, it's kind of like distribution. If it's nm, if both of these are to the x power, you can take each one of them separately to the x power. Same way with a quotient. If I have a fraction to a power, you can take the top and the bottom of the fraction to that same power, as long as that power is not 0. If your exponent is 0, that's 1. Almost anything to the 0 power is 1. The only thing that's not is if the base is 0. 0 to the 0 is not 1. And of course, if your exponent is 1, it's as if there's no exponent at all. So like x to the first power is just x. So we're going to simplify some of these. So this first one, x to the fifth times x squared over x cubed. So on the top we can multiply. So if we multiply, we're adding exponents. So 5 plus 2 is 7. So it looks like that. Now we're dividing two numbers with the same base. When you divide, you subtract exponents. So 7 minus 3 is 4. So that simplifies to x to the fourth. Or this one. Notice it's all squared. So that means we can square everything in there. So we have 2 squared. So 2 squared is 4. We have s cubed squared. Remember, when you raise a power to a power, you multiply exponents. So 3 times 2 is 6. So that's s to the sixth. And on the bottom, we're going to square that t also, so t squared. So that's just some work with exponents. Next thing is rewriting literal equations. So like here, we want to solve for y. So remember, if we solve for y, we want to get y by itself. You always start from the outside and work your way in. So if we want to get y by itself, first we need to get rid of the negative 2x. So we're going to add 2x to both sides. So now we have a negative 5y equals 2x plus 10. Now we need to get rid of a negative 5. Since that's y times a negative 5, we're going to divide everything by negative 5. So now we're left with just y like we want. On the other side, we have 2x over a negative 5. Well, that's just a negative 2/5 x. So we can just write it like that. Then we have 10 divided by negative 5. Well, that's a negative 2. Do this a lot with linear equations. You do that. Okay. This next one, same thing. We want to solve for y. So again, to get y by itself, we get rid of the outside stuff first. Well, we need to get rid of 3x. So we're going to subtract 3x from both sides. So we have a negative 7xy equals a negative 3x plus 21. Now we need to get rid of a negative 7x. So we need to divide both sides by negative 7x. So here now we're just left with y. Here we have a negative 3x over a negative 7x. Well, the x's are going to cancel out. So we have a negative 3 over a negative 7. That's just 3/7. Here we have 21 over a negative 7x. Well, 21 divided by negative 7 is a negative 3. So I can change that plus. I didn't forget too good. I can change that plus to a minus. 21 divided, that was a negative 3, and then x is on the bottom, so it's going to look like that. It's kind of out of proportion there. But that's just some stuff on 5.0. So two things working with some exponents and rewriting literal equations.